Welcome, everybody, to the Falcon and Winter Soldier watch along here with the True Story Bro characters of Roundhouse, as usual, me, Echo Ninja, and our guest, the political shield, Chad Douglas. And as we saw yesterday, not yesterday, last week, as we saw last week, Sam got done dirty. He got done real dirty last week.
Treat like a black man, but anyway.
He gave up the shield to a museum, and they went around and made a new Captain America. A new Captain America, not even just a new symbol, a new Captain America. They gave this guy the Captain America name. In the meanwhile, we don't even know if Steve Rogers is dead or just somewhere else. And
I
then,
don't think, if you think about it, you give him like $1,000. Hey, put this in my account. Oh, you overdraft. Oh, very good.
and then we got the introduction of the Flash, the Flag Smashers, and then going through Bucky's how he's dealing with his PTSD from all the deaths he basically did when he was the Winter Soldier. We found out this whole thing takes place 6 months after the Endgame event, which is basically, it takes place 5 months after the WandaVision fiasco,
Mm-hmm.
and 2 months before Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and we hopefully will get some more information on this new Captain America, aka the U.S. agent.
Up to.
What?
So I saw a meme where he looked like the old guy from
Oh,
Up.
he looked like the old guy from Up.
I was like, yo, then they have no chill.
But yeah, we're gonna get started on this episode right now, folks. Make sure you like the video if you're interested and subscribe if you're new. We're reaching that 500 subscriber goal. And when we do, there will be a giveaway for you guys at the end of that. But we'll give more stuff on that later. Until then, let's get started right now.
Love you.
Love you.
We're the Flash.
Yo, bro, don't fucking hate.
Okay,
Not yet. You're up.
copy that.
We're the
Morning.
Flash.
Good morning, America.
Not. Every time we fight one of the three.
So who are you fighting now, Gandalf?
How do you know about Gandalf?
I read The Hobbit in 1937 when it first came out.
So you see my point?
No, I don't. There are no wizards.
Doctor Strange
Is a sorcerer.
A sorcerer is a wizard without a hat. Think about it. Right? All right. I just came up with that. It's crazy. But look, that's not the point.
Yeah, quick.
Stealthy. Little time in Wakanda and you come out
White Panther. Wolf. Huh?
He's a white wolf.
He said it's White Wolf. He was like, huh?
All right.
Oh.
Sam, John Walker, get
Ooh, that was good.
So me, it's Black Falcon.
Black Falcon.
Because I'm black and I'm the Falcon?
Well, technically, I mean, yes.
So are you like Black Kid?
Got him.
No how.
I'm not gonna talk about it anymore.
Yep.
Calm down.
I am calm. What do you want? We're just standing here
Just
talking.
give him your ID.
No, I'm not giving him shit. We're just talking.
Hey, look, is this guy bothering
No,
you?
he's not bothering me. Do you know who this is?
Oh, God. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wilson. I
Wow.
didn't recognize you without the goggles. I'm really, really sorry about this.
Wow.
Just wait here, okay?
You want him to kiss?
You have to have your legs open. You know what? Fine. Here. Oh, you happy now?
All right.
Right.
Yeah.
Good.
We're locked
That's
in.
fine.
now.
It's a little
It's
close.
very close. That's what you wanted, right?
Guys. Good. Now look at each other. You need to
You
look.
threw it away like it was nothing. So maybe he was wrong about you, and if he was wrong about you, then he was wrong about me.
Whoa.
Oh, that was some powerful stuff right
You
there.
finished? Okay then. We're gonna go see Zemo.
That was insane.
I'm surprised he's still locked up.
I'm kind of well. I mean, maybe he got free and they got him again. That's why he's in a different location. Maybe. I don't know.
But I'm literally shocked that he's still locked up.
But
It shocks me. I'm like, huh.
But the crisis of Bucky continues with him going toe to toe with Isaiah Bradley, and losing half an arm and having his ass getting kicked.
I'm glad that they're doing they're talking about the first Captain America. I'm glad they really shed light on that.
I had a feeling that they were going to do it, especially having that actor in this. There was no other character that actor could have played, and I'm really glad that they got that.
Yeah, like Steve know about it? Nope.
Exactly. You know, this is something that he was deep undercover. Like nobody knew about this guy, and then they put him in prison for 30 years and experimented on him more.
Took his blood. He said even yo people did it. He meant Hydra. Even yo people took blood from me. Yep.
And that's why I'm thinking what me and Chad were talking about earlier during the pre-show about with the serum that we saw in the Winter Soldier, the pouches in the Winter Soldier. We were saying to ourselves, oh, you know, I'm sure they didn't probably use it all, but at the same time, this sheds light that Hydra probably was trying to work on their own at the same time.
So there's 4 strands of super soldier serum. 4. The one that Steve got is the original one.
In the MCU?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's one that Steve got, right? There's the one that Anthony Stark had.
Mm-hmm.
There's the one that Ross has that was actually used by Banner, which created the Hulk.
Yeah, and Abomination.
Yeah. So there's 4 of them, and then so now we know that there's another one from Isaiah. So
can't forget the Hydra one too.
Yeah, that's the one that they stole from Anthony.
Yeah. But okay, so well, we can all agree that we really, really hate John Walker.
I was trying not to hate him.
I was trying not to as well because he seemed genuine.
Yeah.
Like it make you want to like him in the beginning, and then he was just a complete dickhead, yo.
Well, first off, from my perspective, I didn't like him from the jump. But first off, his hair was so out of army rags. His long sideburns was beyond what the army regs said that his sideburns should be. It's not supposed to be past the airload. Okay, and then his hair was so long it was touching the collar of his uniform. So first off, I was already offended. And then the brother, who's supposed to be a sergeant major, had way too much hair on his head. Ain't no way I could walk around with that type of hair in uniform. No way. So I was already, and then he had his facial hair growing and stuff like that. Talking about he Captain America. Captain of what? I slept Army Reg, Captain Army Reg. So first off, he done already rubbed me the wrong way being out of Army Regs. So he was already in my bad books, and
this is why you're on here.
so he already rubbed me the wrong way, and then his whole attitude being cocky. But you want to talk about how they whooped his ass? Hell, they whooped your ass too, Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Where the At least Bucky and Falcon have said they won fights. They were just taken off guard. That's all that was. We ain't see you fight.
Exactly.
Fight, you lost.
Word.
And you almost lost your boy, and you had to save him. You had to save him with the shield, and you almost lost yourself if that car wasn't in the way.
But that was the cool part. I was like, all right, cool. You got your battle buddy. Okay, you took care of your battle buddy. Okay, good. That's what you're supposed to do, Captain. That's what you're supposed to. So he was cool with me. He was cool with me on that one. All right, but he gonna walk around and be like all confident and everything. Dude, you just got your ass whooped. You need to calm yourself down for a second, and then he gonna take them out of jail, but he won't feel like they owe him something. They don't owe you jack.
Very true.
It's like the younger guys looking at the ones like, and I mean Sam and Bucky. Well, Bucky's old, but Sam is still young too, and they kind of just looking at them like they the old guys and they the new, like, you know.
I mean, in some ways they are the old guys. They're the guys of the old ways. They're the Avengers.
Yeah, true.
Or used to be in a way. I mean, and also, I mean, not even talking about Bucky. You got to realize, Sam is already a vet as it is.
True.
You know, you figure that out in Winter Soldier. He was already a vet, and he re-enlisted himself. I think, what was it, after? Well, he didn't even re-enlist himself. He was just hired as a free agent after the blip. Because he was working. Because he was working. What was that, Chad?
He's a contractor. He's a government
contractor. Yep.
Right.
No, he's no different than Blackwater, as an example.
Right.
He's a government contractor. So they follow under different rules. Now, the other name for a government contractor is mercenary. We don't call them mercenaries anymore because they have a negative connotation, and they really technically have no rules. But government contractors do fall under some rules, and that's why. And that goes right back to what Sam was trying to explain to Team Jackass when they were talking.
It's true. They're basically free agents. The Team Jackass, they have rules of engagement and everything. And the other ones, Sam and Bucky, they actually get to work more fluently.
The reason why they have rules, they can bounce right out of the like they're free, like they have a little bit more freedom.
They don't work for the government technically.
And the Walker bunch can't, is because I honestly think it's the Sokovia Accords. Like there's a little bit of more freedom with them because they're contractors versus they're under the government, and sometimes the government don't want to be seen in another country because there may be some start or some shit. The one thing I will say, like, I do like the fact that they kind of there's one thing I keep telling people, like, the stories may be told different, but they stay true to the comic. This is literally like the new Captain America and Bucky. They literally, because this was in the comic. He just don't have the mask, which is fine, and his outfit looks like I didn't even get a real good close of what was it, Hopkins' outfit. But
it was basically
the
the
new
same
Captain America and Bucky.
Yeah. It was basically the same as Cap's outfit. It's just that he had a ballistic vest on over it.
But yeah, that's you know, in the comics they were the new Captain America and Bucky. I like the fact that they really, you know, they stuck to their they used their material. And that's the thing too. It's like they use the material, and I like it. I like what they do. I like the outfits though.
Yeah. The coolest. Now here's the thing: that we predicted, Chad, on the pre-show, is the Isaiah Bradley thing. We were really hoping that they pushed that, and I'm so glad that they did it, especially in a very elegant way that they put it too. You know, they made you feel for that character for those small moments that he was on screen, and it was like, it was hardcore, like how he was just, and in the comics they showed that even with that super soldier serum, he was still struggling with his like the super soldier serum had a side effect which messed with his mind, and by doing that, in this movie, I mean in this show, it showed how his anger kind of can get a little uh
Ragey.
a little ahead of himself, and you saw how he threw that thing in the wall and shit like that, and then you saw a full body picture of him, and he was still like stocky, and it's
Yeah,
like
he
he
I
was
said,
still
get out,
he was still a big guy, and
young
and
motherfuckers.
and again, I do have to say I love the cinematography, how they showed it so close up to his face, showing that claustrophobia like they showed with Bucky, you know, and showing and it was just really exciting seeing that character. I really hope we see him again, you know.
I ain't even gonna lie to you. As old as he was, and you talked about how he beat Bucky's ass. At that moment, I thought he was gonna beat Bucky's ass again.
I thought he was gonna punch him out the wall.
Hey, look, hey, and the thing is, I think his strength is probably twice as much because one, he's a super soldier, and two, when you get old, that old man strength.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "I'll whoop your ass."
Mm-hmm. So,
he was all like, I wasn't sure whether you were gonna come here to kill me, and he was ready for it too. He was ready. He was like, if you're gonna come here to kill me, I'll make sure I get my lickings on you before you do anything to me.
It's crazy because he still feels tormented by everything that's happened. It's like,
of course, wouldn't you?
That I served, I've been locked up for 30 years and all they did was take blood and this and that. And I pretty much fought for this country. And, that's a.
And then they almost pulled that police thing on everybody, and then they reversed it.
Yeah, because they did a Get Out moment.
Yeah,
theatrical ending.
I like that part.
Not director's cut.
But my question is, this goes back to the viewers. This goes out to the viewers.
Mm-hmm.
Viewers, who's ever watching it, do you understand what just happened there? Let me explain this to you, because as a matter of fact, I just had to explain this just yesterday. Doesn't matter who you are, no matter what it is that you've done, it don't even matter the uniform. The moment you take it off, and the only thing that anybody ever sees is you as a black man, and then you are a threat.
Justice.
Point blank.
Justice.
And that shit almost happened too.
Been there.
If it wasn't for that guy who came out of nowhere and says, "Yo, this is the Falcon, son," if he didn't do that, he'd be in jail.
Well, Bucky was the first one was like, "Do you know who he is?" And then he's like, "Oh, it's the Falcon, isn't that?" The fact that another police car pulled up was one thing. It was just like, oh.
I mean, yeah, but they got police cars that do that during pullovers too. They have 2 police cars that do that nowadays because of the shootings of police officers. But I get you.
Stand that. I never like that. Like if somebody is like for a traffic stop or just like he's like, no man, we're talking like we're nothing's wrong. Like we're just talking to each other. And then one police car pulls up and then another one pulls up. It's like y'all escalating that shit already just by having another police car pull up.
Yeah, well, I mean, if I'm here to play devil's advocate, which I am going to, because you got to, because it's not just one-sided. It's not just one-sided all the time. There's times where it is just as simple as a conversation, or it can end up being something worse. And nobody knows what it's going to end up being until they investigate it. Now, hold up, let me finish. Now, do I think that was necessary? No. I don't think that situation was necessary. It wasn't at all. But let's just say, now you would understand this, Chad. Now let's just say if that wasn't just a simple conversation, right? And let's just say that white guy shot that black guy who was Sam, shot that black guy, and then shot like a bunch of other people on the whatchamacallit. Just saying.
Okay, you see, but there's that speculation. Well, if this is and if that, in this particular case, right? Let's look at the whole thing in totality, right? They were in somebody's house, right? The dude yells at them, tells them to get out.
Yes.
They didn't. They peacefully left.
Yes.
They're walking down the street and they're talking to each other. They're engaged. Yeah, they're gonna be heated. There's no law that says you can't argue in public.
That's why I said I agree.
Nobody making threats. Nobody making any threats. They might have been a little bit loud, but nobody making any threats. So, and that's Baltimore. So
yeah, truly.
So what did somebody to call the police? Like these are the start.
No, you're right. No, that's absolutely right. Who called the cops?
Point I was trying to make. Like
who called the cops?
Playing devil's advocate, but at the same time, playing devil's advocate does not necessarily paint it the way it is painted. They made that shot for a reason. Two people, white and black man, walking down the street, having a discussion, and police car pulls up. Second police car pulls up for no other reason. For no other reason. And when another police car pulls up, it's escalated. A situation like that always gets escalated when another police car pulls up, and it doesn't make anybody on either side feel right. So don't escalate it. But they do it anyway. And
as I said before, I agree with both of you guys when it comes to this show. Again, I will say it for the fourth time. I agree with you guys when it comes to this show. But I'm just saying, for any other realistic aspect that you don't know, something like, I mean, the thing is, for this show, it was needed because the director wanted to add the whole race issue and everything for this show, so people could understand that these things are here, and we're not trying to hide from it. You know, we want people to know that this shit happens on an everyday occurrence. You know, and they show it. They show it.
Like, forgive me. You know, I hope all the, you know, like I said, I was just talking about this at my job just yesterday. The exact same thing happened to me back in 2014 in Missouri, January 2014. I'm just jogging in the middle of the street, and I was wearing, you know, a green jumpsuit. It looked like a Marine jumpsuit with a reflective belt, and the cops got called on me, and all I was doing was running. But somehow I'm suspicious.
You in Missouri?
And somehow here I am running in a military community. And what the person who called the police saying I look suspicious described me as wearing what looked like a Marine sweatsuit, which made sense because it was the same color as the Marines, the exact same color. And if anybody was paying attention, like if you're not really paying attention, you would have sworn it was a Marine jumpsuit, but it was dark. And so I'm looking suspicious because I got it because I'm running. And you think that I'm a Marine and I have a reflective belt on? Come on. So the cops. So
point where motherfuckers need to mind your motherfucking business.
So I've been there, and mind you, I had a PT test correction. I was there for the captain career course in my military career, and I identified myself as such. And yet I still got harassed by the cops. I'm not mad about it,
but it happens.
But the point is, in this particular case, just, you know, and then we're gonna move on.
Yes.
In this particular case, the cops asking Sam for ID was for what? For what? Like, why are you here?
No, that's correct. You're right.
He at this particular moment in time, he ain't driving. He has no. If he wanted to give you his ID, if Sam wanted to, the cop could act.
He's walking.
Whatever.
Walking.
But he's not. He didn't have to.
He didn't have
to.
And you could already see, and he gonna ask the Bucky, is this man bothering me? Wait a minute, hold on, why you not?
That's why Bucky was like, no, what the?
You see, so and I promise you that interaction is probably gonna come back into the discussion as to why Sam didn't take the shield.
Exactly.
Promise you that conversation, what happened, is going to get brought up so that Sam is going to try to get Bucky to understand. But staying back on the topic, getting back to their couple counseling.
Yeah.
Going to their couple counseling, now I understand. Now we understand why Bucky is so upset. Is because he believes in Cap, and Cap believed in Sam.
Yep.
And if Cap was wrong about Sam,
that means he was wrong about Bucky.
He's wrong about Bucky. Yep.
And you know, it's a causality.
Right.
It you know A, if A is equal to B, and A is equal to C, B should be equal to C, but
right,
doesn't necessarily always work.
Yep,
it's true, and I really hope they come back to that whole couples counseling conversation too, because it almost looked like I felt for Bucky when he said that. He was like, if he's wrong about you, then he was definitely wrong about me. And for Cap to be wrong about Bucky means everything to him, because even though Bucky was the older one and everything, like when they back in the day before he became Captain America, he always took care of Cap and all that stuff. And then Bucky at the same time, even though he took care of him, he always believed in his like his altruistic attitude, like he believed in his like goodness or something like that, you know, that you can never think of anything negative, you're always a good guy, blah blah blah. And even as he became Captain America, and he always thought that, oh, everybody else was against Bucky when he was Winter Soldier, and he was the only one who thought, oh, I can bring him back, you know, I can bring the real Bucky back, and nobody else thought it except for him, and then he got him back. Like, for that to happen, that and for him to finally get his memory back and everything like that, it changes his entire life after that, because he owes everything to Cap. Or because
everybody that really sided with Captain America during Civil War, in a way, really believed in what Cap was doing with Bucky.
Right.
And because, you know, not only did they not sign the Sokovia Accords, now he's like, I have to go check my friend out, you know, and make sure he's all right. And then I'm getting people to fight for just me and what I believe in, me believing in my best friend, you know, not even my best friend, my brother, because technically Cap and Bucky are brothers.
Pretty much.
I'll just put that, because Cap lived with Bucky, you know, Cap lived with Bucky, and because his mom had died, and, you know, he didn't really have nobody. So I mean,
and that tells you that if Cap believed in Sam, that means Bucky also believes in Sam.
Exactly. Right. That's the other thing too.
And I'm hoping that Sam, I know Sam's feeling, and he feels like what he did was right. But I think at that point, Sam also started to see it from Bucky's viewpoint.
Right.
Just a little bit. And that's why they button heads, because Bucky, and I to me personally, I think that means a lot. Bucky believes in Sam.
Right.
Bucky believes that Sam can do it. And he's not just believing that because Steve says so. I think
he knows
Bucky,
he can.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I hope they go back to see Isaiah at some point, just because even that small interaction, and Sam knowing and looking back at the house, I hope Sam goes back and sees Isaiah and really gets a full circle of I would say, to understanding of why he needs to get the shield. You know what I mean? Not, you know, because he already has Cap in his head, but to see Isaiah, like to talk to Isaiah, you know, talk to an old vet that's, you know, been through a lot of stuff, to get that conversation. I hope he does, because I think it's going to be a very deep insight about that Captain America.
True. But I mean, also because he's going to learn about the negatives about being Captain America before he learns about the positives from Isaiah Bradley. But it's still a good interaction that he should know. He should know the pros and cons about being the symbol, and also treading back on what Chad was saying. With Cap believing in Bucky and Sam. I mean, with Cap believing in Bucky. I mean, with Cap believing in Sam and Bucky believing in Sam. Sam has to learn to believe in himself after that.
Yep.
And treading back on you, I believe that Isaiah might be the key for that one.
Yeah. Because to find out that there was a Captain America that was was black, and what transpired with this Captain America, and what they did to him, and what how long he's been around, it's gonna be a little something different. It's gonna be almost a wake up call or something of that matter. But we'll see what happens. And I hope for the big battle between Bucky and the Buckies and the Caps, or the Falcon and the.
Of course, we're gonna get that big battle eventually.
I'm not even calling him Captain. I'm calling him U.S. Agent
because he's a U.S. asshole. That's what he is.
Team
asshole.
What do you say?
Team Jackass.
Team Jackass. I'm dealing with. Yeah, I'm doing that hashtag Team Jackass.
Oh, by the way, it's weird just to talk about them real quick. Just finish up. I find it very interesting, right? That when they talk about, where they get their information from, and they tapped into Red Wing to get it. Like, oh yeah, it's government property. It's like, oh, it's government property. We do almost like we do what we want. We're under the government. We have an umbrella of what we can do and what we have access to. I'm curious as to who is there. Who are they responding to? Obviously, I know it's probably Ross, but I think Ross is like behind the scenes.
Well, I found out that Ross is Secretary of State, not even Secretary of Defense.
Yeah, no, not defense, but I'm just saying he's behind.
Because we kept saying he was Secretary of Defense, and
yeah.
I just found out he was Secretary of State.
So I'm curious to see where what Ross really plan is with this, besides the propaganda and actually going to another country to.
There may not be. Ross may not have anything to do with this at all. If they're working for the U.S. government, trust and believe, we have assets that we can tap into anything we really want if we wanted to. They could have gotten that information from the NSA. They could have gotten it from the CIA. They could have gotten it from the DIA. How many letters you want me to keep going?
They got it from the Alphabet Gang.
Like, get yourself a bowl of alphabet soup, get yourself a spoon, pick up the letters, and that's probably the agency that may have gotten that information.
The agency.
I'm not even going to dive into that too much, just because if they're working for the U.S. government,
anything can happen.
And then on top of that, but here's the thing, but you do bring up a good point, because they said, well, it's technically government property.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute, hold on. Red Wing was
Stark property. So
that tells me that after he died, they acquired his stuff.
The military contract, I bet. Yeah.
So the military acquired anything that Stark invented that was a part of defense line.
Yeah, including
and that and Shield? That's why Shield is gone. Remember that. Shield's gone now, bro. They haven't rebuilt it yet. If they ever do. Sword is around, and Sword is not Stark. But here we go. Remember Spider-Man Far From Home? What's the name? Stark left Peter those glasses.
Yeah.
And basically gave him control of everything that he had left, like basically that satellite up in space.
The drones, yeah.
Yeah. So they probably didn't get everything.
Nope.
They just probably They just probably wanted to take everything that was involved with the Avengers and swallow it up, which makes sense because if you have control of the Avengers, you got control of almost everything that Stark has created.
Yeah. But the question is that once they would have to acquire it because Tony's dead. They would have to acquire it from Pepper.
Yeah. Pepper
So
probably gave it up.
Yeah. So that's the question is like, who did she turn it over to, or did she give it up? Like it's
It's probably the same thing that happened to what's his face, Sam. Acquired it to a smiling face, and then next turned around and they just, like I said, acquired it to a smiling face, and then turned around and then fucking just went like, oh, boom, sorry.
because he's still War Machine.
Yeah, he is, but he is U.S. government, and he signed the Sokovia Accords.
Yes, he did.
Along with Stark too. That's another thing.
But I think he got. I'm not sure if he got court-martialed like he said he was going to get, but I don't know.
Yeah, but that's another thing. But yeah, guys.
And let's not forget Sharon Carter, because they actually brought up Sharon Carter.
Yep.
And so I think that's going to be very interesting.
Oh yeah.
Meet up, because she did sacrifice a lot, giving that shield back.
Oh, and another thing,
just like she was on a run, just like they were
for 2 years, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing, last question: who are the power brokers? That's what I want to know. Who these guys are? Who these guys
like
are going
international
against?
gangs, that's all.
Nah, it's not an international gang, bro.
That's what they look like.
Nah, those guys look like they work for either military or they're part of a mercenary, a top-notch mercenary group that's working with another agency or something like that.
They weren't in the U.S., so that's one.
No, they were in Germany, right?
Germany, right? So
yeah.
I don't know. What do they call them?
They were the power brokers.
The power brokers.
Or the power brokers men. So basically the power broker.
I just chalk it up to like an international gang. Just chalk it up to that until we get some full proof, because all we just saw them do was shoot somebody. So I'll just chalk it up to that until we get
according to them though, they've been hunting these flag smashers down for a long time. According to how they reacted to that whole situation. But we'll talk more about these power brokers probably on another segment, so we can focus fully on them. But until then, guys, thank you guys for joining me. You too. Thank you guys for viewing. And make sure if you enjoyed this video, you drop that like. And subscribe if you're new. We're trying to reach that 500 subscriber mark. If we do, you guys, the first 10 random people will get something from our giveaway. Yes, something from our giveaway. What that is, you will have to find out when we reach 500. But it's something cool. I bet you're gonna love it. I know it is. But also make sure you join Roundhouse on his Twitch, twitch.tv/roundhouse84, and make sure you join my buddy Chad every Friday night at 8 p.m. 8 p.m.
I got that finished my stream.
8 p.m. On his Political Shield show on Facebook Live. But until then, guys, we are going to make sure we're on your left all day, every day. And peace.